No soy Dominicano. So, ladies and gentlemen, Trump is not playing. How many times have we seen a president go in office and we don't know what he has done? Trump is making noise, even though you could say it's not necessarily good noise, but he's doing something. So, if you don't know, the Trump administration is moving forward with plans to ramp up arrests and deportations of over 300,000 Haitian migrants following a Supreme Court decision allowing the termination of temporary protected status TPS. Enforcement operations by Immigration and Customs Enforcement, that's what ICE stands for, target communities across the U.S., including Springfield, Ohio. So they're running to Springfield right now as we speak. More than 300,000 Haitians lost their TPS protections following a 6 to 3 Supreme Court ruling in late June 2026 that upheld the administration's right to end the program. Haiti originally received TPS designation in 2010 after a devastating magnitude of 7.0 earthquake. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that earthquake was in 2010. We're in 2026. So how many years ago was that? 16 years ago? 16 years you had time to get it together. 16 years. The earthquake in Haiti was in 2010. It's about to be 2027. They gave Haitians more than enough time. But what I don't understand is that for the Haitians that actually got their green card and their proper paperwork, how come those immigrants are being deported back to Haiti? I understand for the people that don't have the proper documentation. Also, I understand for the individuals who are committing crimes in the United States, but for the ones that's actually working hard, providing for their family, following the rules, being a good citizen, those people don't deserve to get deported. That's just my personal take. The administration argues that TPS was strictly temporary. So they knew this was going to go on. They knew they was going to get deported. So why the uproar? And the extensions under prior administrations stretched the policy past its intent. Oh yeah, the earthquake in Haiti was in 2010. That is way past the deadline. It's 2026. It's just crazy work because for the ones that are good, they have to be deported. And that's what's sad because now the kids of these Haitians are now going to be in orphan homes and they're going to be separated from their family. ICE has drawn up plans to targeted deportation sweeps focusing heavily on regions with large Haitian populations like Springfield, Ohio. Sheesh. Springfield, Ohio. Also, the Haitians reside heavily in Miami, Florida. It's not it is not a great time to be Haitian right now. If you live in the United States and you are illegal, sheesh. But what I feel empathy for is the Haitians that actually are working for an honest dollar, do have their proper documentation, do everything underneath the sun that is right, and still they're going to get deported, leaving their kids in orphanage homes. So now their kids, hold on, bruh. Now these kids of these Haitian parents are going to be separated. Crazy work. Local and state leaders, including Ohio Republican Governor Mike DeWine, have criticized the blitz as a mistake that harms local workforces and the regional economy. Absolutely. Human rights and advocacy groups express deep concern over sending individuals back to Haiti, which continues to suffer from severe gang violence, political instability, and humanitarian crisis. Oh yeah, well Haiti is 100% the bottom of the bottom. It's the scum of the world. It is the shit, the booty hole of the world. It is a thorough country. Is it gorgeous? Absolutely. Haiti is a gorgeous island. But because they broke their independence from the French, they got no social economic funding, which led their country to a shithole. So, thus, why would you stay in a country if it has no economic value? You would, of course, want to provide better for yourself and your family, especially if you have offspring. So, that's what the Haitians did. They travel from their homeland to the United States to provide a way of living and send the money back home because the price of a dollar is not even close in comparison from the United States to Haiti. But it really ramped up when that earthquake, which was over 16 years ago, Haitians got to move somewhere. So they moved to Haiti, they moved to America. And now America all of a sudden saying, get your ass back, go back to where you came from. We don't like your parts of we don't like your kind around these parts of town. Why are they targeting Haitians, ladies and gentlemen? Y'all let me know in the chat. Let's go on with the content.
Background checks, earned work permits, and paid taxes will be torn apart, thrown in ICE jails, or sent back to a nation overrun by criminal gangs who murder and kidnap at will. Haitian American children, U.S. citizens, will be orphaned, detained in horrific conditions, or deported alongside their parents to imminent danger. Americans will pay even higher prices for groceries, health care, housing, and child care.
And look, this has been going on for over a dozen years. Go home. Get out. We know our country's better than yours. That's because we filled it.
That's crazy. So who's speaking right now, ladies and gentlemen? It's this woman named Megan Kelly. Now, Megan Kelly, she has some very controversial takes as of late, but she has her legal right to practice her freedom of speech, her First Amendment right to speak her opinion.
With our work ethic and our culture and our values, you being here only dilutes it for us, those who built it and live it.
So her take is that the Haitians being in America is a cancer, is a plague, and she's happy the Haitians are being deported. But what about the immigrants who actually have the proper documentation, have their green card, did what was necessary, and still they're getting deported? That's what I don't understand. If you have your proper documentation, how are you still getting deported? I can see if you actually committed a crime. So yeah, you jeopardize your privilege to be in America by committing a crime. So your ass got to go. But that's not the case. They're deporting immigrants. They're deporting aliens with the proper documentation.
And half of you people, more than half of you, won't assimilate. We don't want you. We don't care if you're offended. Get out. Go home. Go back to fucking Haiti. Sorry. I'm thinking about our friends in Ohio who've been dealing with these TPS Haitians for years now, who are drunk driving all over their towns and killing people. This is the whole cats and dogs thing. Like, they don't want to live like Americans live. And this was supposed to be it was supposed to be temporary help. And it's turned into another backdoor way of allowing someone permanent residency here. And they take advantage of all of our public services and
racist bigot alert. Just in case you were wondering if Megyn Kelly was racist, I think it is answered in her latest post, the attack on Haitians and Haiti.
Go home. Get out. We know our country's better than yours. That's because we filled it with our work ethic and our culture and our values. You being here only dilutes it for us, those who built it.
Why are you so miserable, Megan? I usually don't like to spend my time responding to the crazy, unhinged, bigoted shit that you say because you just want the clicks. You are racist. And it's just not worth my time, except for now. Your facts are wrong. Open a book. When you talk about who built this country, you know who really built this country? Enslaved black people, Mexicans who the border crossed, they didn't cross the border, and Native Americans.
That's crazy how people would say, oh man, America was built off the back of the white man. The white man built America. No, it is the minorities who built America, but yet they're deporting minorities? So the same people that built the country is now getting deported.
For free. And telling people to go back because, oh, go back, it's our work ethic, and this is our country. Megan, how do you think your ancestors got here? How do you think the Kellys got here? They came over from Ireland. More than likely, they were poor as shit. They came over looking for opportunity, seeking asylum from oppression, and they didn't call ahead and say they were coming. So stop telling people to go back to
100%. Haiti is the shithole of the world. Why would anyone stay or reside there? People risk their lives to come to America, and then You have people living currently in America and they're taking advantage of their situation. They want to cry over first world problems because they're not getting YouTube views. Imagine immigrants outside looking and wishing they was in your shoes. Meanwhile, you have people living in America and they don't even know how blessed they are. You can actually go to work and make a living. In a time span of 10 to 20 years, we've seen Asian communities, Indian communities come to America with nothing in their pocket and flip their situation, passing down generational wealth. The land of milk and honey, modern day Babylon, the land of opportunity. As long as you put your head down, stay out the way, anything is possible. Put things into perspective, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care how much is in front of you. One day at a time, and you will obtain your goal. But that is not the same in a third world country. You can work as hard as you want, but if the price of a dollar is shit, what are you supposed to do? So they risk their lives and they risk getting deported by coming to America. Meanwhile, people living in America are sleeping in till 3 or 4 p.m., don't got a job, want to cry over YouTube views when they don't know how good they got it.
Someplace. Why don't you go back to Ireland? And why don't you get your facts straight? And while you're at it, stop being so racist. Open a book. You're a dumbass.
Why do you feel so strongly about this?
I think history tells us that this country was built with immigrants. My family came here in the 1840s, escaping the famine in Ireland. And my great-great-grandfather came to Yellow Springs and worked on the railroad, building the railroad at the time. There's always been a blend of people who are native to Ohio, who have been here for generations, but also people who come in. I think that this is a great opportunity, frankly, for President Trump. He has done a phenomenal job. His administration has done a phenomenal job in taking care of a huge problem. That problem was the southern border. The southern border is virtually now sealed. It's what we wanted. It's what people expected him to do and what he's been able to do. The fact that the border has not been sealed in the past and there's been a huge problem has caused this country not to be able to have a debate about legal immigration. I think that the president has the opportunity to turn this and to say, look, it's now time. We've got our border sealed. It's now time to have a discussion with the Congress and the American people. Who do we need in this country? Who is in our economic interest to have in this country? I'll give you one statistic. In Ohio, I think 22 or 23% of our physicians are foreign born.
That's a great point. So the same person that's saving your life in the medical field is nothing but minorities. Let's keep it a stack. Do you mostly see Caucasians as doctors, nurses? No. You see Asians, you see Middle East, you see Africans, everything but Caucasian. But yet that same person that is doing their due diligence and saving lives now has to, in the back of their mind, know that at any moment they can be deported without any crime taking place. Just because they're a minority, they can be deported.
Our STEM workers, a large number of them are foreign born.
Now, what is STEM? STEM is the economic foundation. Science, technology, economics, math. That is filled of nothing but Asians, Middle East, Africans, nothing but minorities. Those people are doing God's work. But all of a sudden now, they're getting deported. But doing my little bit of research, this is not a surprise. They knew their timeline was up when TPS said, yo, we extended TPS as long as we can. Now, the earthquake was in 2010 in Haiti. It's 2026. So they gave them more than enough time to prepare. You can go back to your homeland. Once again, the price of $1, it's not even close to America. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go astray. Side note, never get stuck in your situation. If you're working a 9 to 5, don't think that's the end all be all. You can save up, stack your crumbs, build your pie, and move to a foreign land such as South America, the Middle East, Philippines, and live like royalty. Do you know how much a house costs in Africa? The same way you're paying rent, stressing over rent, you will live like a king overseas. So don't let a 9 to 5 discourage you as if that's going to be the rest of your life. No, worst case scenario, you can move overseas. Stack your crumbs and build your pie. And that's what these immigrants are doing. They come over here, work their ass off, sunrise to sunset, go back to where they resided and live in royalty. The price of $1 is not even close. But yet, they're getting deported because of what? Because they're getting targeted? Because the Trump administration wants somebody to point their finger at? I understand for the ones that actually commit a crime, they deserve 100% to be deported. But for the ones that's actually following the law and have the proper documentation, came here legally, why are they getting targeted?
These are just facts, and a good debate will bring that out. We need to develop a immigration policy that is in the interest of the United States.
Yes, we are the best black free country around the world. This country cannot function without our immigrant neighbors. This is the time for all of us to raise our voices and to say this country is also our country, is also the country of our immigrants, because we are the one who built it. If you can enjoy the safe
Cold world, the same people that built the country is now being deported.
of being at the Supreme Court is because immigrants have worked so hard to give you that seat.
A few moments later.
Thank you, Harris. See you in moments. Right now, ICE planning dramatically to ramp up operations to deport Haitian migrants here in the U.S. This after the U.S. Supreme Court sided with the Trump team, ruling that TPS, known as temporary protected status, is temporary. During the Biden years, going back to fiscal year 2025, I would draw the attention of our viewers to that bottom line number. Total encounters of Haitians under the Biden administration, almost 500,000.
Look, Haiti had TPS since 2010, so going on almost 16 years, where each administration just kept extending and extending it. I think the Trump administration, as they have across about 9 or 10 different countries, have said that temporary protective status is just that, it's temporary. So the idea is that these individuals, if they don't adjust status, will need to leave the country, and ICE is there to enforce that order of removal.
Okay,
so
Chad, here's my question.
Yeah, I don't think it's just going to be on the Haitians. I think it's going to be on all of those individuals, like I said, across 8 or 9 different countries that the administration has ended TPS on. They're all going to be targets for removal.
Have the authority to review the Secretary's determination.
So it was not just the Haitians, ladies and gentlemen. It's all immigrants. All the immigrants. That's some sad work. But what I mostly have empathy for is the children of these immigrants, because now they're going to be separated from their mother and their father and have to grow up in the orphanage home. What? That's some nasty work.
Regarding designating status, removing the status, or extending the status. And the language is very clear. And so Justice Alito wrote the opinion, and he said that basically all of the arguments that the litigants had weren't even, quote, sound, because they don't even have the authority to review what the Secretary has determined on that.
The precise numbers are up for debate, but they're somewhere around or...
This is the time for all of us to raise our voices and to say this country is also our country, is also the country of our immigrants, because we are the one who built it. If you can enjoy.
The cries of Dr. Gerald Gabot, the Haitian immigrant in charge of the Immigrant Family Services Institute. She's reacting to the U.S. Supreme Court ruling Thursday that President Trump has the power to end temporary protected status for Haitian and Syrian immigrants, meaning some 45,000 Haitians on TPS in Massachusetts could be deported.
What exactly am I going to say to those 100,000 children who were born here and whose parents are on CPS and can be at any time deported?
100K plus kids potentially are going to lose their parents. That's sad work. But Trump, he doesn't F with the Haitians. Back in 2023, he claimed Haitians was eating, consuming the dogs. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. He made a whole song about that. He don't F with the Asians. Cold War, no blanket.
Haitians and Syrians are here on TPS because they fled war, gang violence, and hurricane.
And Haitian, they work hard. They're always on time at their work. They don't take no days off, no days out. They're always there. And we built America. So I don't know what's going on.
See, to you Haitians, now we all know today is the day starts your deportation here in America, the ones on TPS. Focus on your next move. Don't worry about Black American people. Focus on your next move. Figure out what your next move is and what your future holds. Now, all that energy you had out here, fighting the government, protesting, rallies, team takeovers, all that. Let's keep that same energy and go fight your government where you from. Because y'all always talking about how America treated Black people. But you know what?
Haiti doesn't have a government. The governor, he ran away from Haiti to Africa, South Africa. The government in Haiti is extremely corrupt. They steal from their own people. And it even goes down to the Clinton administration when they tried to do the relief fund for hurricane. What was that hurricane that hit Haiti? I can't remember top of the dome. But the Clinton Foundation, they built a hotel instead of giving back to the country. So once again, the economic status of Haiti is trash. So much so that they risk their lives to come to America, knowing that they will be deported at any time, knowing that their life is on the line, but they rather have the risk than to reside where they currently was born, where they was born at. It's better for them to risk their lives going across the ocean, the Gulf of Mexico, to either touch Florida. They can go up to Boston, but preferably Florida because it's closer. Some even go to Texas. Anything is better than Haiti. And you're telling them to go back and die? There's not, bro, you can be a whole judge and still have the status of a janitor in Haiti. Why is the country so broke? If you don't know the history of Haiti, ladies and gentlemen, Haiti is the first country ever to get their independence as a minority, as a colored Black individual group. Obviously, there was an enslaved ship, right? Traveled across the Atlantic, landed in Haiti, and we got our independence against the French. And because the Haitians got their independence against the French, ladies and gentlemen, all the help that was received from the French got cut off. All the funding they was receiving from the French was removed. So no more trades, no more imports, no more goods, the straight up survival. What you got is what you're going to get. There is no deals that's being taken place with Haitians for the price of getting their independence. Could you say this is retaliation from the Haitians getting their independence? Because why would you tell the man to go back where he came from, and where he came from is literally hell? I understand from the ignorant, people think Haiti's an island. It can't be that bad. No, it's that bad. It's so bad that Haitians, some would say, don't even want to claim being Haitian, as bad as the reputation as Haitians have been perceived. Now, look, once again, they got their independence from the French. How? Now, let's do a little history lesson. Imagine being a Haitian enslaved. How in the hell did you get your independence if you locked up in chains? Do you know what went down on that island? Spiritual warfare, psychological warfare, all type of warfare was going on in Haiti, and that's how you pronounce Haiti. It's not Haiti. The H is silent. It's Haiti. They was doing stuff that I can't even say on YouTube. They made the French turn on their own self. They was fighting themselves. They had to flee from the island of Haiti. Shook. And ever since then, ladies and gentlemen, Haiti has been socially, economically in the trash can, not receiving no imported goods. Nobody wants to do trades. Nobody wants to do business with Haiti. Thus, the residents of Haiti fled the island to provide a way of living for themselves and for their loved ones, sending money back home so they can eat. But after 16 years, ladies and gentlemen, the well has run dry. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Do you think Trump should get involved in saving these immigrants, the same immigrants that built the country? But as we know it, he doesn't give two F's about the Haitians because he made a viral song back in 2023 talking about they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs. Man, Haitians are getting a bad rap as of late. Let me go to the polls. We got over 80 votes in the building. 72% says no. 28% says yes. Thank y'all for voting. Let's go back to the content.
We fought hard. We may not got everything we deserve, but we got a piece of the pie. We got a piece of the pie. Y'all got nothing. Y'all got nothing. Only thing y'all do is flee your country. And then when y'all go to other people's countries, y'all fight their government like if y'all entitled. You're not entitled. Take that same energy and take that shit back to where you came from and let's see. Let's see. Make sure you film it. I want to see y'all fight, protest, poster signs. I want to see it. Yeah, I want to see it. Show me. Let me see you fight your government like you came here and Fort Mines and the one in the Dominican Republic, the Bahamas, Jamaica, Canada. Let me see how tough you really are. Let me see if you're going to take them same balls and that same energy with you back home. So stop focusing on Black America and focus on what you got to do when you get home. And clean that damn street up. Damn, that shit look disgusting.
This is an important celebration of our heritage, our culture, and the tremendous contribution our community has made for America's greatness. America could not be the great country it is today without our contribution, without your contribution, without the contribution all of the immigrant community. Sometimes we forget, yeah, thank you. Often we forget, some people forget that this is a country of immigrants.
Yo, say it in the back for the people that did not hear it. United States was built off the back of immigrants. So the same people that built the country is not getting deported. Crazy work.
And the hate that we have seen across America against immigrants must not be tolerated. We must demand that the immigrants and their culture and their contribution to this great country be honored and respected every day. Every day in America, we must honor our immigrant community and all that they have done for our great country.
Yo, respectfully, that man sounded like Manny Pacquiao. America was built off the backs of immigrants, and the immigrants are not receiving no love. The America was built off the back of immigrants. We must stand for our rights and fight, fight, fight. Man, yo, I feel some type of way about these immigrants being deported. But once again, if you really just do your research and stop having shock value, you understand TPS is temporary help. And it's been going on long overdue since 2010. It's the big 2026, ladies and gentlemen. That is 16 years. So they had more than enough time to strategize and plan what is the next move. In case this happens, this is what's going to occur.
I've served my constituents to the best as I could, but often I get as much of hate towards me just simply because I'm an Indian American. And that has to change, and the only way we can change is when many of us come into public service, serve our country with with the vigor and the knowledge that we can do. We need to see more of Indian Americans in our political arena, serving at various levels, local levels, state levels, and national levels.
Well, most of them have continued to work. I think some of them, have left.
E pluribus. Whoa, pause. Pause. -1. George Washington wasn't an immigrant. Our first immigration wave didn't happen until 1830. So wait, hold on. E pluribus. Pause, man. Pause on your name, respectfully. So do you think George Washington was born in America? Yeah, please let me know in the chat. Do you think all the great men who wrote the Constitution, do you think they was born in America, or did they travel over Spain or wherever the hell they came from? So if they traveled overseas to reside in America and take over by committing a huge genocide on the Native Americans and took over their trap, if that's not where you was born at, doesn't that make you a forerunner? Doesn't that make you a immigrant? So George Washington, once again, he wasn't born. His great his ancestry is overseas. Your Caucasians, your bloodline is overseas. It's not in America. Y'all do understand foreign land. Who was here first? Do you think the white man was here first? Let's stop the cap. Not on this channel. Now, when I'm wrong, I stand corrected 100%. I'm not the one to be wrong and run on that lie. But we can't cap talking about George Washington was born in America. Stop the cap, Mr. E. Pluribus. Pause.
We don't really know how many, but there's certainly a lot of them there that are still working. Of course, as you know, what happens when TPS actually goes into effect, which looks like it'll be tomorrow. They can't work anymore, and they won't have any way to make a living. It'll be illegal for companies to employ them. So it's going to be a big blow to the community. These are people who came here to work. They came here to fill jobs that were not being filled. The city of Springfield has come back strongly over the last few years, an old industrial city that now is really coming back and moving forward. One of the reasons they've been able to do that is because of the Haitians who have filled these jobs. They not only have filled jobs, they've started open restaurants, they've bought homes and rehabbed houses. They've done a lot of things that frankly have contributed to the community.
Haitian business owners in Springfield have been telling us they're losing business.
So many people left.
And it's getting worse.
80% of the community, they already left.
They say many Haitians left town out of fear of deportation after a Supreme Court ruling that allows their temporary protected status to be stripped away. And community leaders are watching another possible consequence.
I do think that it's going to be something that is going to impact our community.
Kara Van Zandt is a longtime Springfield resident and the assistant executive director for the Clark County Land Bank. She says they've been working to renovate or remove abandoned properties already made worse by the housing crisis.
With vacant lots, I know that we have tax foreclosed properties, which is a number that we use quite often. That means that they are officially been left, so that abandoned category is checked. We have about 500 parcels in Clark County, primarily in the city of Springfield.
Now there's concern that if more Haitian families leave in a short period of time, even more houses can sit empty, adding to the neighborhoods they've already been helping to recover from blight. And that recovery comes at a cost.
Just a basic site of this nature is going to be a couple $1 million, from beginning to end.
In that recent presentation to City Council, the group says they're getting money from the state, have finished several projects, and will focus on the city's west side next.
If we didn't have those funds coming down from the state, we would be stuck with all of these brownfields and blight.
Leaders say you can expect to see more renovation work happening over the next year, but they say there's still more work to do as many Haitians move out.
It's very bad for us.
Sheena Elzy joins me now from Springfield, Ohio. And Sheena, great reporting. It sounds like Springfield's been wrestling with this for a while, though. This didn't happen overnight. Were Haitian immigrants originally seen as part of the solution to this vacancy problem?
Well, the evidence certainly suggests that. After talking with some Haitian families, I found out many of them were living in rental houses that were once vacant before. And a lot of the Haitian business owners are also in strip malls that used to be abandoned or vacant before. But now that situation has definitely changed here.
So now walking through the streets of Springfield, how visible are the changes? And do we know where these Haitian families are going to?
Yeah, absolutely. So what you can see on the streets here is sometimes we've seen a lot of people, more people.
Charlotte-J6C says, get the F out. Now, Charlotte, I agree with you. For the ones that actually committed crimes, taking advantage of their opportunity, plaguing the streets, doing all type of stuff they're not supposed to do, then yeah, get out 100%. Especially if you're blessed enough to be in America and you want to take advantage of your opportunity by causing crime and doing God knows what, then you need to evacuate the building, evacuate the country. But for the ones that have the proper paperwork, actually have their green card, working, contributing, actually putting their resources to good use, contributing back to society, being a functional member of the United States, why do those immigrants, why do those certain people are targeted getting sent back to their country? I don't understand. If you have your proper documentation, how are you going to get deported? Crazy work.
Actually walking around because a lot of the Haitian immigrants, they don't have their driver's license and can't get one at this point. So we've seen more people walking around with nowhere to go. Some of the
Damn, they can't even get their license? Oh, man. Damn. That just gave me a recall. I need to go ahead and renew my registration, man. I should have did that today. What is it, 4:30? Yeah, they're about to close. I think I got to do that probably this week. Crazy work. Can't even get their license to go to point A to point B. They got to use Uber and what's the other one? Uber and what's the other one? Lyft. They got to order taxis to get around. Crazy work.
Haitian families tell me that they can't go back to Haiti because of the violence and the gangs there. They're worried about their
Oh no, you cannot go back to Haiti. And that's what I've been harping on this live stream. They rather risk their lives to come to America, ladies and gentlemen, than to reside in Haiti. Haiti is the shithole of the world. It's the gutter. It's a third world country. It's not like Jamaica. It's not like the Dominican Republic that shares the same island as Haiti. You would think Haiti would have some type of partnership with the Dominican, the DR, but no, they hate. As a matter of fact, the DR hate Haitians. Yet they share the same island. And why is Haiti such in a bad economic social class? Because they got their independence. The first black people ever, the first melanated colored individuals to get their independence in history. Thus, they got all their resources cut off. No trades, no imports, nothing. Just a shithole of the world. So Haitians, residents, they know that. They're not going to reside and die in Haiti. You know, you can't change the hand that you was dealt with. All they can do is take a chance. Put yourself in a Haitian shoes. You're born in Haiti. You see how effed up the country is. Why would you live your entire length of your life in Haiti knowing how bad it is? Or you can potentially risk your life. Go to America, work your ass off, change your situation and change your family situation and possibly even generations upon generations just because you took a risk. So die where you was born at, even though you don't have a choice where you was born, or have some cojones, take a chance, travel to America, work your ass off, and potentially change your family situation. Not potentially, 100% you would change your family situation. I would take that 10 times out of 10. We're all human at the end of the day. We all deserve the finer things in life. Why does this person have to live in poverty just because they're in a certain place of the world? If they want to travel to America and work their ass off, as long as they don't break the law, what is the issue in that? The issue is that a lot of bad ones fucked it up for the good ones. Excuse my French.
Their families being killed or kidnapped, so they're going to other states or staying in town with nowhere to go and ending up homeless. And another
who forwarded 420 said France destroyed Haiti. Yeah, they destroyed Haiti economically, but Haiti destroyed their ass physically. I mean, they got their independence. The first melanated people, the first colored people in the history books to gain their independence. So, thus, they lost all financial help, all trades. Nobody want to do business with Haiti.
problem that comes with that is the example right here. I want to walk you over here, and I want you to look up right at that sign there. That sign is a
Little Lou 536. We're actually going to transition to the Epstein. I'm glad you brought that up. Let's talk about it. Because this is all a distraction. How come they want to deport all the immigrants, but when the Epstein files was released back in February, it was hitting all the tabloids. Ellen fled the country. Nobody got arrested, but overseas, everybody was resigning from their place of occupation.
sign of
That was the bait. Real architects sit on thrones, wear robes, and drink wine while feeding on children's souls in Vatican crypts. Look, let's name what they won't. The 13 bloodlines that run the world aren't who you think. Orsini, Aldo Brandini, Pallavicini, Medici, Breakspear, Farnese, Rothschild, Rockefeller, Warburg, Hanover, Lee, Bruce, Habsburg. These are not old money. They are Baalic, parasitic bloodlines. Ritual sorcerers who hijacked empires and installed mind control systems under the illusion of religion, politics, and finance. Where's their origin point? Venice. The black Venetian nobility ran Babylonian blood cults under Catholic masks. They merged with the Vatican, embedded into the Jesuit priesthood, and exported global slavery through maritime law, trapping you in birth certificates, taxes, and silent contracts with no consent. Venice wasn't a city of romance. It's a sacrificial basin. Why do you think the Pope wears a fish hat? That's not Christian. That's Dagon, a Nephilim water demon. Look, Epstein wasn't a financier. He was a human trafficker for the priest class. He ran blackmail rituals for the elite, orgies timed to celestial gates, using children pre-programmed through MK Ultra satellite nodes. Who funded him? Rothschild-backed banks. He admitted this. Mossad and CIA intelligence mergers. Chabad Lubavitch financiers masked as philanthropists. Why is Ghislaine Maxwell still alive? Because her father, Robert Maxwell, was a triple agent.
That is a great question. Miss Hummingbird says, where did the millions of dollars from the Hillary met for the Haitians go? Yeah, they finessed. They built a hotel instead of funding Haitians. They fleeced. That was all a scam. People that donated all that money, where is the funding? Like, I mean, millions of dollars of help. The country saw Haiti in 2010 have a massive earthquake, so of course people are going to donate. Where did all that money go? You go to Haiti right now, you think, yo, this is a scam, it is a scam. They finessed. They got a Clinton hotel, but they don't have any proof of the funding that was donated. I'm on millions of dollars unseen. And when Clinton was going to be exposed, ironically, all the emails got deleted, and that's what Trump was trying to expose. All those emails got deleted. So people that was trying to vote for Miss Clinton, she's not, nobody's trustworthy, but that's a huge red flag. Why did 30+ thousand emails deleted? I love to delete emails and extra clutter in my personal devices, but that's suspect. But yet, they want the Haitians to go back to that same shithole country and die. They don't give two Fs. It's not their problem. Doesn't resonate with them. It's not their issue.
Field operator for the Vatican Chabad MI6 Axis. Epstein's Island's temple is a mirror replica of Baal's altars in ancient Tyre. Literally, the owl statues, not for aesthetics, they're invitation gates for entities. Comment, scroll, and I'll send you the full decoded map. Families, cults, islands, bloodlines, oaths, nothing hidden, everything unveiled. Think about it. Why do the Masons care more about rituals than politics? Because politics was just a front. The true power is ritualized trauma. Here's exactly how they move. Jesuits equal infiltration and education. They wrote your textbook, scripted your news, and flipped your morals through semantic inversion. Freemasons equal gatekeeping plus maintenance grid. Lodges are ritual fields, not clubs. The checkerboard floor, it's a dimensional binding grid. Chabad Lubavitch equals economic controllers of AI, neuroscience, and cloning. They bankroll the puppet governments, own biometric patents, and sit on quantum computing boards. All three serve the Black Sun priesthood. Shadow Vatican that answers to no government, no court, no god you were taught about. They install presidents, they run wars for soul harvest, and they script pandemics not just for population control, but for ritual sacrifice and initiation of mass trauma loops. Look, everything you were taught was a ritual veil. They fed on your doubt. They survived by your silence. But you're the anomaly.
Ladies and gentlemen, the same people that celebrities put on a pedestal, they don't know what they have to do behind closed doors to keep that fame. So here I'm going to play Kim Kardashian talking to this woman that is the handler. She's always seen in the fashion design. Forgot her name on top of the dome. I think her name is Lammy.
I need my Michelle jewelry because that's what I wore on the cover of the magazine. So that's what I need. What jewelry do you have on right now? I always love to see what you have.
You know, I sort of the same ones that you saw when the last time we saw it, so that was a while ago. And I still have my monkey, and I hope to have one.
And I have my monkey
Aha.
that you gave me.
Yeah, and you are wearing it sometimes.
I wear it all the time.
Now, why would Kim Kardashian be talking to this woman? This is the same woman that is in this picture here with Travis Scott. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. Throw it to the side, yeah. This man is completely nude, laying down with nothing but a pillow covering him, looking up at the ceiling, lifeless. Miss Lamley is in the background. Now, they say a picture speaks 1,000 words. What did Travis Scott do? I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. But yeah, people praise these celebrities, these pop artists. Don't let others make you think that being a celebrity is all what it pops up to. No, it ain't, man. You don't know what they got to do to obtain that status. And when it comes time to pay, oh, man, they're going to collect. Don't let others influence your mind thinking working a 9 to 5 is a bad thing. I'd rather go get a loan at a bank than to sell my soul. Gonna have to hit Miss Lamley. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. Stop the cap.
I don't have anything on now because I just ran. I was getting ready so fast that I just didn't have time to grab my jewelry. But I've been wearing all the jewelry, all of your jewelry lately.
Yeah, it's so great. And then, so what you were running out from? Where were you this morning?
I had a really busy day today. I worked out. I took my kids to school, and I am now getting ready to film my show. So everyone's coming over here to film in a little bit. It's like 1:30 here.
I know that's why we have only 15 minutes of you. And so.
Yo. She's doing God knows what behind closed doors, but there's no question mark about her. But let's deport the Haitians, right? Go back to the content.
shelter. So this vacant building used to be a homeless shelter, but now there's even fewer options for the people Haitian community in the Haitian community or anywhere in town to go if they are left homeless. Now, the mayor, in a recent meeting, the mayor did say they are working with other nonprofits to try and open up more places for people to go, but it's still a big issue here in town.
How are daily services being impacted if 80% of the population is gone? What happens to local businesses and schools and public transit?
Yeah, well, a lot of the Haitian immigrants were working manufacturing jobs. Some of them I talked to were working at warehouses, like Amazon warehouses and things of that nature. And as far as the businesses go, a lot of the Haitian-owned businesses, at least, say they're seeing less of it and they're struggling trying to keep up. But they tell me they're going to stay in town until they're forced out.
Okay.
I would do the same thing. You're going to have to find me and deport me. I'm not going to willingly go back to a shithole country called Haiti. Going back to Haiti is pretty much it's a shithole of the world, ladies and gentlemen. The value of dollar is trash. Same person in another location, you can work your ass off and change your life. Why would you reside in Haiti knowing how bad it is? And I feel some type of way for the ones that actually do have the proper documentation. They're still getting targeted. Why is that? Well, if you do your research, TPS is temporary, so it was only a matter of time.
We'll leave it there for now. Thank you so much. Great reporting, Sheena.
Mr. President, I object to this legislation, which once again would extend Haitian temporary protected status. Washington has invented a new definition of temporary. It means permanent. Haitian TPS was supposed to be just 18 months when it began in 2010.
Damn, 18 months only? Bro, it has been going on for the past 16 years. Also, even though you can be feeling some type of way about the situation of immigrants being deported, you have to understand it's only temporary. So they're only fulfilling what was already in place. As a matter of fact, it was long overdue. They did the Haitians a service by keeping them as long as they did. At the end of the day, for the ones that messed it up for the good ones, now they're going to have to reap what their soul. They thought it was sweet. They thought they was going to stay in America forever. Maybe if they would have behaved and not commit so many crimes. It became so bad, the president even got involved talking about they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. Haitians got a huge bad rap. Now they're fleeing to Springfield, Ohio? Why Springfield, Ohio, of all places?
16 years later, 350,000 Haitians are still here. Today, after the Supreme Court cleared the way for President Trump to end TPS and send them home, Democrats are trying to change the law to keep the 350,000 Haitians here permanently. Not on my watch. I rise today to block the bill and also do something else, to make clear that those supporting this bill have a message for the American people. Your vote doesn't matter. Your community doesn't matter. Your livelihood doesn't matter. They're trying to use Washington's oldest immigration trick, call it temporary, extend it forever, and cash in on a new voter base. The American people voted to end this scam. Washington Democrats are voting to keep it alive and remind you who they think is really in charge. Here's the truth Democrats won't say out loud. They never, ever plan to end any of these programs. They call them temporary to get them started. Then they manufacture an excuse for every extension. Another year, another election, another deadline ignored. By the time the public notices, temporary status has become permanent residency in everything but name. Democrats can use this scam to build a new political constituency, a new voter base. Haiti was first designated for temporary protected status following the 2010 earthquake. The designation was supposed to last for 18 months. It has now lasted 16 years. Yet, we're still being told that this is a temporary program. In Washington, temporary apparently means forever. A child born when Haitian TPS begun is nearly old enough to vote or sponsor their family for green cards now. That's how long Washington has been calling this program temporary for the Haitians who are here. TPS was created for emergencies. Democrats turned it into a one-way racket towards permanent mass migration. Here's how the racket works. An emergency creates temporary status. Then the emergency passes, but the status stays. The deadline arrives, but Washington extends it. The voters demand enforcement, but Democrats refuse. Every click moves towards permanence. None moves back towards the law. That is the TPS racket. Democrats have decided that mass migration must continue, and that no president chosen by the American people, who ran on this issue, by the way, will ever be permitted to end it. That's the real purpose of the bill. Its supporters will wrap this bill in language of compassion, but they never seem to have any compassion for the American worker, competing against an ever-expanding cheap labor supply. They have no compassion for families.
Okay, I was with Buddy until he said that now they're competing. They're taking our jobs. They took our jobs. They're taking all our jobs because they're working for a penny to the dollar. How can we compare to that? They working for nothing. Stop the cap. Yo, I understand 100%. Yo, it's only temporary. It's supposed to be 18 months going on 16 years. Have more than enough time to get it together. So it is what it is. But to say that they took our jobs, it's laughable. They working for nothing, so that leaves it up for the white man. He's jobless because they're working for nothing. Y'all let me know in the comments your take on Haitians working, trying to make a way of living for themselves, but now they're saying that, oh, they're taking our jobs. Too many immigrants in the United States. They're working for penny to the dollar. They should go back to their country so we can get our jobs back. But once they go back, is the American people going to start working? Because we know how American people are compared to everybody else. Lazy as F. Can't even compare to the minority work ethic. You got the Mr. Juan Sanchez waking up at 4 or 5 a.m. every single day, standing outside of Home Depot, Lowe's, coming back home when the sun goes down just to eat. You think the white man gonna do that? So of course they're gonna pick him working his ass off over the guy that wants a lunch break for 2 hours.
Priced out of housing, workers whose wages are undercut, schools punished and pushed beyond capacity, or communities forced to absorb decisions Washington made for them that they voted against. Their compassion always flows outward, but the bill always arrives on your doorstep. America is not a global refugee camp. America is
not yours as well, because if you place into practice, this is how you get your proper documentation. This is how you become a resident. This is how you get your green card. If you do everything required, you are a resident in America, because how is it yours to claim when you took it away from Native Americans? We do understand that America was first foreign land. It's not like the forefathers that made the Constitution. That is not theirs. They took it off the backs of natives. So just as much as they took it off the back of the natives, you also should give the opportunity for the rest of the world. Yo, do the proper documentation. You're good. The moment you cross the line, your ass is out of here. But that's not the case at all.
not a get-rich scheme for the third world. America is our home. And when house guests become squatters, you don't delay enforcement.
Sheesh. That boy cooking, ain't he? He said when house guests become squatters. Now that is a term, ladies and gentlemen, when somebody doesn't want to leave. What are you supposed to do when somebody doesn't want to leave? You get the proper documentation and force their ass to leave. And that's what's transpiring here. But why Haitians? As we learn in this live stream, it's not only Haitians being targeted, but all immigrants.
Enforcement. You call the sheriff and you send them home. That's exactly what we must do here today. If Democrats want 350,000 Haitians to stay permanently, they should say it plainly. Introduce a bill. Put your name on it. Vote for the permanent status. Then explain that vote to the American people. Quit with the games. But stop calling permanent immigration temporary. The voters are not stupid, and they already made their choice. The voters demanded enforcement. President Trump is delivering on that, but Democrats are fighting to keep the same old scam alive. Mr. President, I have the power to stop this nonsense bill, and I'm going to use it. That's why I'm here today. So I object to the bill, which would keep 350,000 Haitians here permanently. I object to changing temporary to permanent. I object to flooding American communities with cheap foreign labor. I object to treating foreigners as the...
So I agree with everything except for the labor part. If I'm a business owner and I have the opportunity to pay for labor at a cheaper cost, I'm gonna go for that 10 times out of 10. Especially the work ethic is through the roof. Let's not act ignorant. We know these immigrants are gonna work from sunrise to sunset, and you're paying them from penny to the dollar. And it's going to come with more than one. As a matter of fact, it might be deep in that car when you pull up to Home Depot, Lowe's, or wherever you pick them up at to build whatever you need to build. And they're satisfied. They're not even picky because they're grateful where they came from. They know that it's better than nothing, especially in Haiti, especially in Venezuela. Ladies and gentlemen, in Venezuela, the price of $1 is nothing. So much so where they put the money currency on the floor because it represents nothing. So coming from that to America, oh man, you're blessed. Now you got this employer paying you, regardless of what he's paying you, it's more than what you ever saw back in your homeland. So you're going to work your ass off and you're going to run it up. Not only are you going to run it up, but you're going to save, potentially become a potential boss. Now you have your own landscaping company. Now you're a business owner. Now you can hire coworkers. Now you can pay your coworkers properly. But that all starts from a domino effect. So you got to start somewhere. You're going to have to get pennies to the dollar. But yet, you're getting complaints saying that, oh man, these immigrants are taking our jobs. They're working for nothing, man. That's not right. They're taking our jobs, man. They're working from sunrise to sunset. I'm not getting a phone call because immigrants are taking our jobs. They took our jobs. I don't see an issue. As long as the job gets done, it is what it is. Now, if that's your place of occupation, if that's your business field, that's tough. But there's plenty of work to be done. We got to stop the cops making it seem like immigrants are taking all the jobs. They took our jobs, man. They took our jobs. Stop the cap.
Priority and Americans as the afterthought. I object to mass migration. Temporary must mean temporary, and elections have consequences. Therefore, Mr. President, I object.
A few moments later.
The senator from Missouri said the key word is temporary. No, the key word is protection.
Thank you, Steve. So I live in Dayton, Ohio, which is next door to Springfield. Of course, Springfield is now infamous for the eating the cats, eating the dog meme. What if eating pets was the least of all worries for the people of Springfield? There was a massive Haitian influx that was wildly underreported. The city said it was approximately 15,000. But the locals have told me it's between 32 and 35,000 Haitians have been in Springfield. And of course, temporary protected status expired yesterday. There was a false rumor reported that 80% of Springfield's Haitian population had already self-deported. That is not correct. They are not only not self-deporting, they are spreading. The issue with the Haitian culture is that it's uniquely third world, some might even say fourth world, and the way that they do things.
Yo, I never heard a fourth ward before. Fourth ward? I thought third ward was the worst. It goes higher? Damn, I got clown in Haiti. IT, that's how you pronounce Haiti, the Asian silence, really IT. Talking about it's a fourth world country? Yo, and they want to deport them back to that? How you supposed to live?
For example, in Haiti, when it comes to traffic safety, public health, they do things very differently. It's a uniquely unassimilated population that has been prioritized by the city, by the county, and by the NGO administrative complex there. So not only are Haitians not self-deporting, but they are receiving benefits, they are receiving opportunities for work.
Brad says that Haiti is beautiful. They should go home. Yeah, it's gorgeous to look at. It has a lot of trees. The landscape is nice, but the economy in Haiti is trash. They can't make a living in Haiti. Thus, they risk their lives, risk being deported by traveling to America, knowing that at any moment they will be deported. They rather have that in the back of their psyche, knowing that at any moment they will be deported to reside in Haiti because it's trash economically. Now, the country itself is gorgeous. I mean, the island, come on now, it's in the middle of the island, close to Jamaica, right across sharing the border of the Dominican Republic. Crazy how it's sharing the same island, the Dominican, the DR, but yet the DR is nowhere close in terms of economic with Haiti. Why? Because Haiti was the first melanated country to gain their independence in the history of the world. But you have FBA members talking about Haitians are not real black people. Do y'all know how Haitians got their independence? You do your homework. They turned that upside down. They flipped that. It was so crazy. They turned the French against themselves. They were terrified. And what puts the cherry on top of the cake, Haitians was enslaved and still got their independence. And that's why they're in the position where they are current day, because nobody wants to do business with Haiti. No imports, no transactions, just straight up survival. So fast forward to 2026, people ain't trying to stay there in the land of opportunity, such as in America, where all you got to do is work. So you're telling Haitians all you got to do is work and they can live a good life. Man, they're going to take that 10 times out of 10.
They are still driving despite apparently the driver's license no longer being good. They're still working despite work permits not being there. And there are churches and nonprofits that have been distributing flyers how to resist deportation, how to maximally intercept ICE should ICE show up and begin mass deportations. It's really something, because they have committed, the local churches and the nonprofit and charitable networks, they have committed to what they are simply describing as civil disobedience on behalf of the Haiti first population here. It's really something. The people of Springfield, because I wrote the first book on this American migrant crisis, simply entitled Haitians of.
We got 200 votes in the building. Thank y'all for voting. If you haven't voted already, let me know your take in the voting poll. We got 75% saying no, should illegals who got their citizenship get deported, and a whopping 25% says yes, they should still get deported. For the ones that voted yes, let me know in the chat why you think so. Let's get back to the content.
Springfield. And I spent 10 weeks on the ground documenting everything. I got to tell you, the so-called debunking of what they called Trump's racist hoax about the
Fix Your Own Country. Americans fought wars for their freedom by My Back Hurts. Whoa, pause. Pause. These names, man, are suspect, my guy. My back hurt. America fought wars for their freedom 100%. They did. They got their independence as well. But let's go back even further. How did America even become America? It was founded by alleged Christopher Columbus. That's what they say. But there was people here before Americans took over. So just as much as they took the opportunity and got their independence, you should give that same opportunity back for people to enjoy America, as long as you follow the rules and guidelines, get proper documentations, and don't break the law. What is the issue? For the ones that's breaking the law, get your ass out of here. But that's not the case.
Haitians. The belief that it was a hoax is the hoax. I have successfully debunked the debunking. And the crazy thing about cats being consumed, ducks and geese disappearing and being snatched up by Haitians in the
Bro, they talking about Haitians like consuming dogs, cats, anything moving is crazy work. They calling these Haitians animals. Where did that propaganda come from?
park. The most bizarre aspect is that the people of Springfield really didn't care about that. They cared about the fact that Haitian culture, stoplights, stop signs, yield signs are considered suggestions. If there's a car stopped in front of you at a stop sign, well, you just honk or bump their car or drive up on the sidewalk or through someone's yard to get around them. It's underdeveloped fourth world level driving tactics. What the Haitians have been doing, for example, is going to food banks, getting freebies from all the churches and whatnot, and then going and selling them out of vans, opening up businesses without licenses, selling.
That's not only Haitians. That sounds like a lick to me. If I'm gonna, so they're finessing getting free food is what this man's saying. Then they're selling food out their trunk. Sound like a potential business owner. But you got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere. I understand they don't have the proper LLC to sell out their trunk, but once again, when there's a will, there's a way. Is that right? No, you need proper documentation to sell out of your trunk. You need an LLC. But you can't stop the hustle in terms of trying to make a living for them. That is the reason why they should get deported, because they're selling out their trunk. Stop the cap. Only way they can get my take. I believe the immigrants, Haitians, should be deported for the ones that break the law, actually are a cancer to society, not the ones trying to provide $1 in their pocket.
Alcohol, including spirits, having hookah available, which of course is illegal to do both of those at the same time, and they're just simply doing whatever they want. And Springfield City Police have been ordered not to issue the appropriate citations and arrests and whatnot. The entire city is Haiti first, despite being run by Republicans. The people of Springfield have had a very tough go of it, and they're hoping for their liberation. I'm going to go to the Springfield City Commission meeting tonight, but it looks like what has been happening across the city is the Haitians aren't going anywhere. In fact, they're celebrating, having weddings, funerals, opening up businesses, keeping their careers going, keeping their jobs going, still driving.
Hang on.
And it looks like the city is not.
And by the way,
If they are not criminal, why they do send them back? If you take some criminal people and you send them back, I don't have no problem with that. But those people come for a better life to work, to living with the family, why they do that to them?
Last month, the Supreme Court found that the Trump administration could cancel temporary humanitarian protections for Haitian and Syrian immigrants living legally in the U.S.
Those people come over here to get a better life, and they work hard to build the country. They pay tax, they do everything.
They're always on time at their work. They don't take no days off, no days out. They're always there.
Temporary protection status, or TPS, allows foreign citizens to stay in the States when the U.S. government believes it's not safe for them to return home.
Haiti is not safe right now. They got gang, and the government in Haiti don't do nothing.
Canceling these protections could allow the government to deport hundreds of thousands of people starting this year.
Going to Haiti, they're not safe.
It's tough. It's tough. I can feel, the pain, We built America. So I don't know what's going on, but that's not fair. That's not fair.
Department of Homeland Security has said they are planning on rounding up 2,000 Haitians who have no longer have TPS a day and sending them back to Haiti. So it is going to be a massive effort to deport all 350,000. And I know that ripping Haitians from their jobs and citizens' kids, that'll be the administration's priority. That's an unacceptable situation, and it's one that we should not accept.
We are live on the Rio Grande right now on a boat. We want to show you what we're looking at. Take a look at this. This is Ciudad Acuña. This is Mexico right here, where we have been watching a steady stream of hundreds of migrants crossing the Rio Grande illegally. Brian will pan left here. They're crossing the Rio Grande illegally over a dam, and they are slowly walking over to the United States, where there is a massive crowd of these migrants who have gathered. They go over there, they bathe in the river, they change their clothes, and then they walk down a dirt path towards where that international bridge is. Some Border Patrol agents and Texas State Troopers.
Lord have mercy. Yo, if you are blessed enough, ladies and gentlemen, to be born in America, if you're blessed enough, ladies and gentlemen, that you don't have to worry about being deported, all you have to worry about is first world problems such as paying your rent and following the law, don't take advantage of your situation, because we don't really know how good we got until you look at the next person in a third world country swimming in a lake trying to bathe themselves. Meanwhile, you have a running water coming out your faucet. You can open your refrigerator as you please, AC running. It is a blessing to live in America, but yet people take advantage of their opportunity. They rather cry because they're not getting YouTube views. Imagine that. Imagine waking up every single day blessed that you have your health, blessed that you have a job, a 9 to 5, regardless of what that job is. But you still complaining, you still whining, you're still depressed because you're not getting clicks or views or first world problems. Put things into perspective. We gotta stop the gap.
Just pulled up on the other side over there. You might not be able to see them, but they've got their lights and sirens on over there. There's a Texas State Trooper vehicle pulling up. Earlier there was nothing, but this is a remarkable scene here showing just how much this situation down here is deteriorating. Let's take a live look at our Fox drone right now, which is over the International Bridge, which is where this crisis first started. Sources are telling me the number of migrants under that bridge has now swelled to more than 14,000. Consider that on Wednesday morning, it was just over 4,000. So these numbers are absolutely exploding. And the reason why that's happening is what you just saw in the river right here. These migrants continue to show up by the hundreds pretty much every single hour. These Border Patrol agents are completely overwhelmed. It doesn't matter how many of them are bussed out. Fox's Griff Jenkins reporting that about 1,900 migrants were processed here just in the last 24 hours. That's not going to cut it when you got 14,000 under the bridge with more coming. How are they supposed to keep up with that? This is not only a humanitarian crisis, it's a crisis in every way, shape, and form, a public health crisis. Again, most of these migrants coming through are from Haiti. That's a country with a vaccination rate of less than 1%. And again, what we're seeing on the other side of the river in Mexico right now, again, that Ciudad Acuña, you see all the people gathered up there. What's going on is people are being taxied up there and dropped off into that residential neighborhood by the hundreds, and they're actually being bussed up to northern Mexico in massive buses. We have a contact on the Mexican side of the border who's been sending video to us showing massive busloads of these migrants moving north.
Hi, Sakpase. Staying silent in the face of racism and hate is something that I refuse to do. This past week, the lies that have been spewed about the Haitian community, about my community, have been disgusting, deeply hurtful, and dangerous. Now, this is not about politics. It's about humanity. We must condemn this kind of hatred, this kind of racism for anyone. I have always been a proud Haitian immigrant, coming to America, working hard. That's what we do, coming from gratitude. And I will not sit by and let people talk about my community in any way they want for their own gain. The power we have is the power to vote, to register and vote and stop this madness, this chaos. Haïtiens, c'est pour nous sortir, c'est pour nous voter, c'est pour nous register, c'est pour nous parler avec tout le monde que nous connaissons qui ka vote.
We don't know who this is Francesca. I don't know her real name. I forgot. The girl from the Jimmy Fox show. She's Haitian. Yeah, her fine ass. She is Haitian, ladies and gentlemen. And what she's saying is that, because she's speaking Creole, which is a dialect of French. Let me replay that.
Stop this madness, this chaos. Haïtiens, c'est pour nous sortir.
Haitians, we should leave.
C'est pour nous voter.
We should vote.
C'est pour nous register, c'est pour nous parler avec tout le monde que nous connaissons.
We should talk to everybody that we know.
Qui ka vote.
Who can vote?
Là nous gen power.
We have the power.
I am not going to sit by. It's just not okay to treat people like this. We're supposed to be uplifting each other. From our leaders to our neighbors. This has got to stop. And we have to do something about it. We can't just sit by. Thanks for listening. Register to vote. We have 50-something days. Go out and vote. We need to stop this chaos.
So many of the detainees that I have met, whether I was in Louisiana or Texas or in Massachusetts, They are some of the greatest patriots you will ever meet. They love this country. And they have been making positive contributions to it every day. We have to abolish ICE.
Stephen, they're the true American patriots. They're better than you. They're smarter than you. They're more honor roll students than you're ever going to have. These are the true American, the real renegades for the American experience.
And yet
Get with it.
somehow, Laura, they cannot enrich their own countries. They cannot enrich Haiti. They cannot enrich Somalia. They cannot enrich the failed states.
Look at that ignorance being spewed. The propaganda, the lies. So once again, Haiti cannot fix itself because nobody wants to do business with Haiti. Why? Because they was the first melanated people to get their independence enslaved by the French, thus cutting off all lifelines, all trades with anybody having to survive. So would any country survive if they wasn't receiving goods from other places and able to do trades? Absolutely not. You will eventually dry out like a whale. But to just be ignorant and say that fix your own country, what is there to fix if nobody wants to do business with you? Thus, everybody leaves Haiti, IT pronounced correctly, not Haiti, the H is silent. They leave that shithole country because the economic value of the dollar is trash. Especially have offspring. Why would you let your offspring just pass away and die knowing how effed up the country is? You're going to do everything in your power to make sure that your beloved family is good. So you got to do what you got to do. But what's crazy is that the bad Haitians, the bad immigrants, the one that is breaking the law, doing forsaken actions, messes up for the good ones. But to say go back to your country knowing how effed up it is, saying, oh, you have a lot to say, why don't you fix your own country? Well, nobody wants to do business with Haiti IT because they got their independence from the French. After that, they got cooked.
In Latin America or in Africa or in parts of the Middle East, somehow these migrants are not able to make any of their own countries work. And we're told, in fact, their own countries are so...
Now, Somalis, I'm not sure Somalis who they was enslaved by. I can only speak for Haitians because I can vouch for that. But for Somalis, that's a whole nother live stream. They came to America and they scammed their teeth out their mouth, not even getting the spelling of the building where they're scamming at correctly, talking about Quality Learning Center without the N in learning. They scam. So imagine coming out of your country to America and you're abusing your privilege. You're going to be exposed and you're going to be sent back to your country. Haitians, on the other hand, are getting a bad rap talking about they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. What has Haitians done? Nothing close to Somalians. Haitians haven't committed no scam. You can't compare all minorities with one another. No, every case is different.
No one's safe. They cannot live there, but no one can ever explain why their countries are failed, why they're so supposed...
They failed because nobody wants to do business with Haiti because, once again, nobody F's with Haitians after they got their independence against the French.
Supposedly or actually unsafe, why it is that it doesn't work. Laura, if you allow unlimited migration from the third world to the United States, all that happens is you turn America into the same third world country from which these migrants came.
Look, this has been going on for over...
That's cap. He's talking about America's going to turn to a third world country. No. What's this guy talking about? Spewing his insecurities and his hidden racism as the second pastor talking about Haitians are going to make America a third world country. What? Stop the cap.
For a dozen years. Go home. Get out. We know our country's better than yours. That's because we filled it with our work ethic and our culture and our values. You being here only dilutes it for us, those who built it and live it. And half of you people, more than half of you, won't assimilate. We don't want you. We don't care if you're offended. Get out. Go home. Go back to fucking Haiti. Sorry.
Who are not cultured at all. That is black. You're black. You're just black. You're just fully American. You're African American, bro. That wasn't an insult. That was strictly, you're black. You're not Trinidadian. You're not Jamaican. You're not African. You're not Ghanaian. You're not Dominican. You're not Puerto Rican. You're not Cuban. You are American.
African Americans in this country are the only groups. They have no culture.
But currently, there's not an African.
What? African American has no culture. That's ignorant as hell to say. And that's why there's beef between FBA and people that share the same skin color as foundational black Americans, such as Africans, Caribbeans. For a text like that, talking about African Americans have no culture. What are you talking about? People steal the culture from African Americans. Hispanics wearing J's. Some people don't even watch basketball and they're wearing Jordans. You got Haitians. I think I have a picture of a Haitian wearing a Jordan clothing. Hold on, let me find that. Look at this in the background. She's wearing Jordan gear in the bag. Talking about African Americans got no culture. Stop the cap. Foundational black Americans. They get used up, chewed up, and spit back out. How many people have used the African American culture? Look at who's that one pop culture? Miley Cyrus. She had a song with Juicy J. And then she went back to country. How many people look at Post Malone. Whatever, son. When I'm married, I'm young. Now he's a country singer. They use the culture and then they go back to country talking about FBA has no culture. Stop the cap.
American culture?
No, you have no culture. Nancy, you've been here, born here. Why would you be surprised if I say African Americans don't have a culture? What, twerking?
Ohio is heavily targeted. Let's get into that now with Chad Wolf, former acting DHS secretary. Thanks for coming back and good day to you. Here are the numbers as they only apply to Haiti during the Biden years, going back to fiscal year 2025. I would draw the attention of our viewers to that bottom line number. Total encounters of Haitians under the Biden administration, almost 500,000. Chad, what now?
Yeah, look, Haiti had TPS since 2010, so going on almost 16 years, where each administration just kept extending it and extending it. And I think the Trump administration, as they have across about 9 or 10 different countries, have said that temporary protective status is just that, it's temporary. So the idea is that these individuals, if they don't adjust status, will need to leave the country, and ICE is there to enforce that order of removal.
Okay, so Chad, here's my question. I remember when this was happening, there were several countries who were given TPS, and Haiti was just one of them. So why is the attention on the Haitians right now, or is this just the...
That is a great question. There is multiple immigrants residing in the United States, but yet the Haitians are getting targeted. Why? As if Haitians are the only aliens on U.S. soil.
First group.
Yeah, I don't think it's just going to be on the Haitians. I think it's going to be on all of those individuals, like I said, across 8 or 9 different countries that the administration has ended TPS on. They're all going to be targets for removal. And so I don't think it'll just be the Haitians, although that's going to be the largest group, as you indicated with the...
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're in the building, let me know you're taking the polls. Going to take a quick intermission. We got 230 plus votes in the building. 73% says no, and a whopping 27% says yes. Should illegals who got their citizenship get deported? For the ones that voted yes, y'all let me know your take in the comment section why you believe so.
Those numbers, the Biden administration not only extended TPS, but then allowed a lot of these Haitians to come in on parole and other types of status coming in. And the administration has ended all of that, getting back to the original intent of immigration law. So, again, the focus, I don't believe, from ICE will just be on Haitians, but that's obviously what's being reported now. But there'll be other groups.
Little Lou says, money is made by humans. There is no excuse for the crisis around the world. Also, when I'm trying to understand, Little Lou, if somebody is residing in Haiti and the same money that you're talking about has no value, why would you still stay and reside in Haiti if it has no value? How are you supposed to survive? You're supposed to just die? And also, you can't pick and choose where you're born at. So if you're born into poverty, but you see opportunity in America, you can do everything in your power to change your situation is your human rights. It's not. Now let's just back up a little bit because people talking about, oh man, this stay where you born at, bro. Go back to where you came from. But if you was born at a country where the economic value is trash, why would you stay there? It doesn't make any sense.
As well.
Okay.
How about we all just say fuck it and let's just pack our shit up and go back home? Sitting in the car thinking, like, why are we letting these blondes disrespect our face like this? Because I don't get them when blondes are disrespecting no comme ça.
She's talking in Creole. She's saying, why are we letting white people disrespect Haitians in our face like that? We should go back to our country. So some are saying F it. We have too much pride to just kiss the ass of the white tea man. He's bending us over. He's disrespecting our country as a whole. So let's just go back. So that's her personal take. And she's entitled to have her opinion. I think they should just swallow their pride and stay in America because there's nothing good in Haiti besides the trees and the sun and the water. We got to stop the cap.
Let's just pack our shit, all of us though. All of us. Chaque riche, chaque pas riche, chaque pauvre, all of us. Let's all just pack our shit and go home. Then we'll see what Trump gonna do then. He want to talk about something? Let's give him something to talk about. Let's just all go home. En aller, tout monde. Saki citizen, saki.
Anale means let's go. Tout moon means everybody.
Qui get TPS, Saki Biden, Saki whatever you are, residence, annuale. Let's pack.
The residents, anybody that is Haitian blood should leave.
Our shit, get our kids, and get the fuck up out of here. I don't see why not. Because what the fuck we gonna do? We gonna keep sitting here, keep letting this man keep fucking with us? Keep disrespecting our peoples like that? Why? Let's just all go back home.
This woman decided to record a video in the middle of a hailstorm. She was hot. She couldn't wait for that video.
Y'all comment down below and let me know. Anale.
Anale means let's go in Creole.
I have a genuine question, right? I see a lot of Black Americans that are like, yay, excited about the TPS ending, send the Haitians back. My question is why? Why are you guys so adamant about sending them back? What have they done to you guys that you feel like send them back?
That's what I'm trying to understand. You have some FBA, and FBA stands for foundational Black Americans. They're like, yo, go back to where you came from. Why though? And that's why I always say not all skin folk is kinfolk. Just because you share the same skin color doesn't mean they share the same interests as you.
I don't even know where to begin. Wow. Yeah, this type of behavior needs to be studied. It really does. Temporary, keyword being temporary, protected status, ended. That's it. It ended, right? It had plenty of extensions, right? And folks could have gotten green cards or got the paperwork going. It didn't happen. It is what it is, right? And secondly, just for the record, you guys keep on blaming the United States for the corruption and the instability and just, horrible, deplorable conditions in your country. You keep on talking about how the United States stole gold from you. But your beef is with France because Haiti had borrowed a significant amount from American banks and German banks. Y'all don't talk about Germany, though. You always talk about us. And with the instability that you guys had over there, I think you had 6 presidents in like 4 years. The U.S.
Yo, Haiti's effed up, bro. Someone please call 911. Tell them I've been shot down with a bullet in my heart. Feel my body getting cold. Yo, they thought Wycliffe was the president, bro. 6 president in 4 years? That just tells you all you need to know about the economic status of Haiti. It is trash. The president ran away. He fled Haiti. They was coming for his head. They was about to delete the president. He had to run away to Africa, South Africa. Imagine a country that doesn't even have a president. He's too scary to stay in his own country. He has to go to Africa to feel safe. And they want Haitians to live in Haiti?
To secure those assets that could have been looted or mismanaged, and to fulfill the international debt obligation that you guys had. You can't blame us for the destabilization of a region that was already destabilized. The only reason that financial safeguard even happened is because y'all were out of control. And you guys kind of still are. So I don't understand that part of it. Y'all's beef is with France, the ones who had y'all taking loans.
Oh, someone finally has some common sense. This woman knows her history. She said Haitians' beef is with France 100%. French enslaved Haitians. If you don't know, Haiti's the first melanated country to get their independence. But yet FBA, foundational black Americans, they want to talk shit on Haitians. Meanwhile, Haitians are the first colored people to get their independence. Ninja?
Out to pay for your freedom, basically, the freedom tax that you guys had to pay. Stop with the whole United States had something.
Had to pay for a freedom tax. After that, they hit the gutter. Haven't recovered since. I can even take it back. Remember when Moses freed the slaves from enslavement, and the slaves was like, yo, we was better off enslaved because at least we was getting food. So for the Haitians, should they have stayed in bondage by the French? Absolutely not. That sounds crazy. But now look, they're in the gutter. They have no economic social class to where they have to flee their own country just to survive. So yeah, you got freed. Yeah, you're no more in bondage by the French, but in that same statement, you got no help from nobody. Am I my brother's keeper?
To do with it. And you use that one little talking point. Nobody wants to talk about the billions of dollars that we send in aid. Nobody wants to talk about that. You guys only...
Those billions of dollars, ladies and gentlemen, back in 2010 when the country suffered that huge earthquake, I think 7 point plus. That's why the TPS got implemented, but that was supposed to only last for 18 months. It's going on 16 years. So now they're saying, get the hell out.
Want to try to find excuses. I see a lady like this asking a question. I feel like it's disingenuous, and she skates over the issues. She skates over everything, and then got the gall to turn around and blame black American men because you guys believe that we're a voting Democrat bloc or something. Like, we are not a monolith, and black Americans are waking up. So that's bullshit. I don't like the guilt trips that you guys try to do. You know, you sit back and you purport all of these talking points and you know, assumptions about us as a people group, and you're completely wrong. And then you land the plane with two very stereotypical talking points. If we looked like you, you're going to be 6 feet under. We look the same. People don't know what we... Shut up with that. That is the stupidest thing. And they know who the hell we are over here. We're not the same. You know who we are, and you know you're not us. But you keep on pushing this flat blackness that we're the same. That's bullshit, right? Okay? Knock that shit off. And then finally, you center the white tea man. Do you know who can come to Haiti? White tea. Your beloved white tea man. I'll keep centering that white tea boy. Y'all pedestalize him. You use that as your benchmark? We've been smacking him, putting belt to ass forever, okay? He's tired of us. We resist. We don't run. We don't flee to another country and then blame that. And then, yeah, why would you even flee to a country you don't like? So many things. I just, you know, protect y'all's energy. That's all I had to say. Have a good day.
This man said, why? This woman said, why go to a country that you don't like? Because the value of the dollar is nothing and they want to provide a living for their family. Crazy word. That's all it comes down to. I don't care about that other nonsense she's talking about. When shit hits the fan, let's talk about the real. How am I supposed to eat if the value of the dollar is nothing? Obviously, I'm going to go somewhere where I put my work ethic and I'm going to, in return, get the value of my work. I reap what I sow. But in Haiti, you can work all day and you won't get the rewards of your labor. That is nonsense. And I don't wish that upon my worst enemy. Y'all make sure to vote in the polls. We got over 250 votes in the building. 73% says no, and 27% says yes. Illegals who got their citizenship Hold on, bro. Illegals who got their citizenship should still get deported. How does that make sense? Why would somebody that has the proper documentation get deported? But I digress. You're entitled to your opinion. Y'all make sure to also subscribe to this platform and hit the bell notification so you will be notified when I come in the building. I'm your host, HC Picks. I'm out of here.